First summer move confirmed as Morgan Rogers breaks his transfer silence. Arsenal have nearly completed their first bit of business of the summer, while transfer target Morgan Rogers has discussed recent speculation linking him with a move. Mikel Arteta's plans to build on Arsenal's Premier League crown are already picking up pace this summer. That's despite World Cup 2026 throwing a spanner in the works by preventing certain players from pursuing their club futures. The Emirates Stadium isn't about as appealing a destination it has in modern times following the Gunners' recent success. However, Arteta is under pressure to spend funds wisely as he seeks to create a new legacy in North London. Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers is one such name being linked with a move to Arsenal amid his World Cup commitments. Mirror Football dissects the latest goings-on from around the Emirates as the Gunners' summer makeover begins to take shape. Arteta's first summer recruit, Arsenal are on the verge of completing their first edition of the summer, following word that Arnaldo Abrantes will take over as the club's new head doctor. The former Olympic sprinter is due to take over from Dr. Zafar Iqbal, who has left after 2 years at the Emirates. Abrantes became available on the market following his departure from Aston Villa at the end of this season. The 39-year-old was previously the head of performance at Nottingham Forest for 3 years before moving to Birmingham. The medical department is an area where Arsenal will look to make up certain margins after injury issues in the past. Having the strongest possible lineup available as often as possible is one example where rival clubs stand to benefit greatly over the course of a campaign. Captain Martinodegaard was particularly limited among the squad's most prominent stars. The Norwegian missed a great deal of game time and was limited to just 16 league starts, while Kai Havertz and Jurrien Timber also had an unfortunate amount of time sidelined. The Athletic reported Abrantes will officially get to work at Arsenal in July and will become the third doctor to join from Villa in recent months. He previously represented Portugal at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, where he was eliminated in the opening rounds. Another potential signing from Villa, England ace Rogers has lifted the lid on what it's like to be linked with the biggest teams in the land. More specifically, the No. 10 has discussed how it can play a role in his performance. When asked whether transfer speculation had ever impacted his on-field output, the creative was told the rest is football. I think the first time it ever happened it was. You're in an uncomfortable spot of not realizing that people have so much interest in you, and you're not quite realizing that. But as you get older and gain experience along the way, you know that comes with it and 95% of it is just noise. You hear it, course you do, you can't help not. You know it's there but you've got to use it in a positive way. You just try and get on with your game, and just focus. Rogers, 23, is currently in the United States with England ahead of their World Cup 2026 campaign. The tournament means any potential deal is less likely to take place until the Three Lions exit the competition. Former Manchester City prospect Rogers won't move cheaply. However, given he's contracted at Villa until 2031, as such, it's been reported the attacker could cost any suitor in excess of £80 million if he is to move this summer. The Gunners are monitoring Rogers' situation at Aston Villa, though are aware that a fee in the region £100 million will be required to prize the attacking midfielder away from the Europa League winners. Any possible deal for Rogers will likely have to wait until after the World Cup to be completed. But England head coach Thomas Tuchel has confirmed any member of his 26-man squad will have a window to sort any transfer business. In the Three Lions' final pre-World Cup warm-up fixture against Costa Rica on Wednesday night, UK time, both Rogers and Ez were introduced just after the hour mark as second-half substitutes. For Ez, it was the Arsenal number 10's first minutes since the Champions League final loss to Paris Saint-Germain, as he, along with Bukayosaka, Declan Rice and Noni Madueke were given extra time off and joined up with the squad late. With Rodgers operating centrally and Ez playing as a left-sided number 8, it meant the pair were close together for their 20 minutes on the pitch, and many Arsenal supporters were left encouraged by what they saw. Of course, it remains to be seen if Rodgers and Ez do become teammates at club level this summer, but Gunners fans believe the former has passed his audition with flying colours.